Applications of the scale. Well-being is the starting point, not the goal. Everything we do in life we do to improve our state. This implies to every sentient being. The essential desire to move in the direction of well-being and avoid feeling bad is what motivates all action, all desire, all resistance, all plans, and all worries. Why do you go to work? To make money. Why do you want to make money? For survival would be a common answer. In this case, going to work would be driven by both fear of non-survival and the desire to survive. Sometimes we make choices that feel bad or are detrimental to our survival. This seems to contradict the idea of everything being motivated by a drive to feel better, but it is no contradiction. When we make choices that are no good, it's only because we believe the alternative would be even worse. So, smoking cigarettes may be harmful to one's health, but there's an underlying belief that not smoking cigarettes feels worse than smoking them. Or we may remain in a relationship that is painful because the pain of leaving feels worse than staying. We sometimes choose the lesser evil, or what is perceived as such. Therefore, even, quote, bad behaviors are motivated by the desire to feel better, or what we think will make us feel better. The shortcut to fulfillment is to gradually let go of reasons and conditions that have to be met before being happy, and aiming directly for the feeling you would like to have. In my experience, improving your general state is an aim that is more important than almost any other aim in life. By putting a general sense of well-being first on your inner priority list, you become independent of all the conditions that have to be met before being happy. And by becoming independent of all these things, people and objects, they become easier to have. Well-being is not necessarily the goal, but the prerequisite for reaching various goals, the basis from which all other things flow more easily. Now, if you think you understand what was just said, think again. Merely listening to something and agreeing with it is of little use. A part of you will still be whispering to yourself, "When I find a partner, I'll feel better. When I make more money, I'll feel better. When the weekend comes, I'll feel better. I will feel better after drinking coffee. After reading this book, I will feel better. When I find God, I'll feel better." When waiting for outside circumstances to change you rather than recognizing happiness within, you're a puppet of the world. If you come to an ATM to withdraw money and your emotional state changes from okay to worse, that indicates that the ATM's contents are controlling you, which is a far cry from you controlling it and its contents. Do you really want to be controlled by a machine? Do you have money, or does money have you? Humans have created millions of such dependencies. Needing all kinds of things to happen before you can be happy is a certain way of not moving up the scale. A shortcut to improving your situation is to define a general sense of well-being as a top priority, with the exception of enlightenment and divinity itself, which is the top priority, and also beyond the duality of well-being versus non-well-being. Practice feeling good today rather than projecting happiness into some future that never really comes. Life is taking place today. Can you feel the todayness of life? With just a little bit of awareness, you can tend to your well-being before taking action on something else, before planning, before making a decision, before drinking that cup of coffee, before turning on the internet to distract yourself. And if you feel all right and calm beforehand, your actions and decisions will be more fruitful. Making decisions in a state of emotional turmoil is a recipe for long-term suffering. If you operate from a, "I don't need coffee to feel better," the coffee you do drink will taste better. The taste of the coffee will not come from your mental projection, but from the coffee itself. You can derive sustenance, peace, and joy from within in a matter of minutes by merely taking short time-outs throughout the day. The dictum of the world self, world self is my term for what other authors call the ego, is to get. That is the only thing it is interested in. To get. That's understandable because it's dependent on energy for survival. The lower your point on the scale, the stronger the need to get is. In a state below level 200 on the scale, one is almost constantly lacking something and needing something or another in order to feel at ease. So, to get, to take, to acquire, to achieve, to accomplish, to strategize on how to get, is humanity's main preoccupation. Merely feeling fine, independent of what you get or do not get,
will move your overall energy up the scale. There's a lot of power in releasing neediness.